The mid-Bedfordshire by-election has now taken place. Labour has won by a comfortable majority. It's overturned one of the safest seats in the country, 24,000 votes. I think Labour won by 25,000 votes, and that is simply staggering. And it would be wrong of Conservative ministers to sit back and say, oh, it was a low turnout. It might have been a low turnout in Chris Pincher's constituency of Tamworth. I think that was a turnout of 36% or something, or 33%, but the turnout in Nadine Dorries' former constituency was much higher. And the result was a resounding no for the Conservative Party, but a resounding judgment on Nadine Dorries' appalling and contemptuous tenure as MP there. Whatever promise she may have shown in the past, the moment she acquired ministerial office and the lure of a seat in the House of Lords, it went to her head. And her time as Secretary of State for Digital Culture, Media and Sport was a time I personally was appalled by her behaviour. I wrote to her a number of times. I received no replies. I was left in the lurch for months, 6 months and more at a time. And I thought I was raising important issues, but it doesn't matter. She set a standard which has been very comfortably followed by the people who've come after her, Liz Fraser, Michelle Donnellan, and so on. Now, she may have been picking up the example of her immediate predecessor, Oliver Dowden, but nobody, even somebody who's written a number of books, I've read them, they bear no relation at all to the voice she used on Twitter. They bear little relation to the voice she used in the House of Commons, except for that extraordinary statement about the vocation of an MP, which was stimulating and rousing, and she never came anywhere near that once she had ministerial office. Nowhere near that. It's as if we saw an entirely different person, a grasping, indolent, lazy, indifferent individual, who in the end couldn't even be bothered to turn up to the House of Commons, let alone do her constituency surgeries. And this government enabled that indolence. This government enabled and accepted that contempt for her constituents, and today the constituents have responded. And is this the sort of response we're going to get at a general election? Maybe it is. Because if this is replicated, if the results that we saw today in Tamworth and mid-Bedfordshire are replicated on a national level, this won't be the defeat of the Conservative Party. This will be the absolute annihilation of the Conservative Party, and there will be no comeback. And this is a party which thinks it has a right to govern. It doesn't have a right. It has a duty. It has a duty to the constituents. The constituents hand the ministers, the MPs, their vote to represent them, to make decisions on their behalf, to listen to them in surgeries. And just one of those responsibilities that is ducked is enough to destroy the entire system. So Nadine Dorries, if I were Nadine Dorries, I wouldn't let my face be seen on talkTV. I wouldn't show my face, at least for the next year. Nadine Dorries needs to get out of sight. But of course, she has a book coming up, and I would be very interested to see what happens when she starts doing publicity for that. Boo hiss. But it's something maybe that she can weather. Can she? Now that she knows that she has single-handedly destroyed the Conservative Party.